Hey guys, it is Tristan with Nerdette's NewsStand, and a few weeks ago I reported about Queen Ivy. Now, this is a story that has been going through DC and kind of sculpting not only Poison Ivy but also Harley. And we are going to talk a little bit about that because it is going to trigger the right people. Now, this is a story that came out today in the Joker War tie-in. Now, it does have a couple other stories which I may end up talking about. Basically, the whole book was setting up and giving us a glimpse at what we would see from DC Comics in 2021. But I want to specifically talk about Ivy, simply because she is one of my favorite characters, and I am really excited to see the direction she will be going, at least from what I've read, and from what I can see, it looks like we are going back to a truly evil Ivy, and I absolutely love every single bit of that. This is a story that was called Ashes of Eden by Sam Jones, and the art was done by Laura Braga, who has done fantastic artwork when it comes to DC in general, but specifically Ivy. I love the way she does female characters. Now, basically we see Ivy going into Eden, which has been set up in previous issues of Batman, where he was kind of recovering from being poisoned with Harley Quinn. Now, regardless of all of that, we see the Joker's henchmen hanging out. Not the henchman, because that is actually in a different book. We are getting a new character. But we're seeing his minions hanging out in Eden, and she is not happy about it. Not happy about it at all. In typical Ivy style, we see her get upset. We see her in her costume or outfit from the Ivy and Harley mini that we had. We really haven't seen much but one small story from Vita Ayla when it comes to Poison Ivy since. Now, what we are seeing here is a massive hissy fit from Poison Ivy. And I mean, she is pissed. She is pissed off at Harley. And that's really what it comes down to. She's broken-hearted. And that is going to be her kind of revenge story when we look closer to 2021, right? So we see her talking to a skull of a burnt corpse, and we see a little blonde woman walk in. Now, this woman doesn't matter who she is. She's on Joker's side, and she quickly reminds Ivy of Harley. And with that, she ties her up. She does not immediately kill her. Oh, this poor woman. And she kind of gives us a look at what to expect, like I said, when it comes to the relationship. She said she reminds her of someone. She's feeling a little bit nostalgic, and she doesn't kill her right away, right? So she tells us her interest now moving forward. She says, I let myself be distracted by pursuits of the flesh, but I forgot that humans aren't like plants. They're animals, mostly violent and always unpredictable. Plants always keep an even temperament. I think it's time I reevaluate my priorities. Oh, goodbye, Harley. It is officially over. I can guarantee the headlines we will be seeing within the next few days once people actually get to the story and get it read. It is going to be the straight washing of Harley and Ivy all over again. I've made a couple videos on people complaining about it. It's not straight washing when a character is bi. I want that to be clear. Bi means two, right? Anyways, let's get back to the story. So, she says she is tired of having to rebuild this paradise, right? And she does. We see the death of this little Harley-esque minion over here. And what I told you guys weeks ago, word for word, is on here. Now, I can't pronounce that, but it says, do you know why they call it Devil's Ivy? Because it's impossible to kill, and it stays green even when it's kept in the dark. But I prefer it to call it by its other name, Queen Ivy. And we have our official look at the way Ivy is going to be and continue to be throughout the next year. This has set up Ivy as a major Batman villain for next year. I absolutely love Evil Ivy. Now, I do hope they kind of, with this being our first look at Queen Ivy, I hope we get a little bit more as to her crown. It is pretty. Looks good. But I would like to see it decorated a little more. I also, in the most straight sense possible, I'd like to see a little more skin on Poison Ivy. She is a sexy seductress type, whereas some other characters look great covered up. Ivy looks better. I feel like I'm walking into a trap that I set all by myself. Ivy looks better not covered up. Yeah. I'm just going to stop talking. But I do wish they would change. Yellow goes good with green skin, right? It does flow very well. I like the color palette. I like how the purples bounce in the background and everything else. But I think we need a little less clothes, Miss Ivy. And it's easy. You just grew your clothes, so I think you can just cut some off, right? So we see the destruction. We see her get mad and eliminate completely any chance of Eden returning. And it says to be continued in 2021. And we see kind of the vines growing all underneath the city of Gotham. I think this is more symbolic of what we can expect. I think it's more symbolic of what Ivy has done, how evil she has been in the past. Whether it's, I love her in Hush. I love her in her mini with Amy Chu. I love Ivy as evil Ivy. I don't want to see Ivy at this point when she's evil. When she's evil, mind you. To go into that, I need romance, I need this. Ivy never cared about that. She cares about the green. Let's see her team up with Floronic Man. Let's see her maybe take on Swamp Thing. But that would also take Swamp Thing coming over from Justice League Dark, and I don't know how that would work. But even so, I love every single thing about this. This was definitely something I wanted to showcase by itself because I love this character and I think they are actually giving her the respect she's deserved for a really long time. She hasn't really had much respect since she was written by Amy Chu. So, finally, we are getting a great Ivy. And she's not Poison Ivy, she is Devil's Ivy. She is Queen Ivy, and I fucking love every piece of it. So let me know, of course, what you guys think about this story. Which books you got this week, what you think about her outfit or anything in between. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hey guys, I want to give a huge shout out to my Patreon and subscribe stars. You guys literally make this channel possible. Huge thank you to Cage the Mick, Robert Mick Twiz, Black Knight Fool, Brucey, Chris Z, David L, David Rafford, Jeffrey Allen Carnes, Mighty Paws, Mike Buckner, Maizen Barbosa, Ruskar, Ryan Decker, Robert Hoffman, and Doc Holliday. You guys are absolutely amazing, and thank you so much for all your support. Don't forget on the way out to like as always if you enjoy the content and hit subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.